Wow, 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 wow. Alright, let's get back to it. Oh yeah, I wanted to turn this down just a hair. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get this up here. Oh, I should just pop those. FRE, and then we'll go on. Dun, 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 dun. Dance. We're going to dance. Okay, let's go. Dun, 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 boom, boom, boom. How's everyone doing, by the way? Hopefully. Did it again. Brain fart. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you can see yourself on the other side of the screen. What just happened? Did I find something? Did I find something? Can't drop on these, I don't think. See that again. Oh, there's two Torches. Wonder if that's a sign. Wonder if it's a sign. I don't think it's a sign. I wonder what I have to look for to get the artifacts. Does it have something to do with that? I don't think so. But why would they let you turn off that stuff? I don't know. So you guys want to know about some lore? Is anyone in here from that post? Well, I guess not. Give me a sec. Oh, that was dumb of me. That's a sinister smile that thing has. Very Joker face-ish. Joker's face-ish. There we go. Sound out the words there, Technotron. Very curious about that hole I found. Hearts should be coming. Yeah, I was gonna say. Thinking about speedrunning this. Thinking about it. Screwed that up. Screwed that up. Where would this artifact be? Oh, and did you guys see that there was another video about flanking? I almost want to put in my 2 cents about it. I'd do that. Brain fart. Brain farting all over the place. Get this. Do, 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 do. I don't remember there being 3 there. Ooh. Of course, I get the one thing. Woo! So there's nothing here. Get it in there. Oh, well, whatever. I have no clue where that artifact is. Crystal balls, though. Oh, horrible. Worth. Oh, that wasn't fast enough. Oh no! You had to make a new account? Well, congrats to you. I mean, I appreciate it. But how are you doing? And do you want me to call you? I'm guessing, I'm suspecting that this is Rev. You doing good? Good. Okay, Rev. Oh, shoot! Almost died. That felt like pinball. That was weird. An idiot. But anyways, so what do you want to know? I can throw down from Docker's Bay. We can even get into some other stuff. Some nitty-gritty niche stuff. Secret dungeons, ways to the Underdark. Oh, bad. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I've been running on, like, 0 sleep. My body ain't functioning. Ah, it's all good. But I finally got some time to stream again. And if you did notice, I updated the... Well, I know you noticed, but the tweaks and all that. And then I was working on updating the item tier list. having troubles on that one. This isn't even the hard one, and I'm getting smoked. I don't know what's up with me. So, Rev, are you gonna ask a question, or you just want me to go off about whatever? Because I'm chomping at the bit. I want to leave some lore down. Ooh. It is close to, well, so Docker's Bay is on a beachfront. It's over an oasis. Its back is to a desert, and then the other side of it is, and if you look at the map, you'll see one says Docker's Bay, and then one says Loga, and they're two red arrows. But the thing is Docker's Bay goes up back about 20-30 miles, and then it goes up the Cloud Peaks. If you go over to the south, you have an open desert that is just completely, like, open, like I was saying. And there's a lot of it. So they have plenty of room to source and everything like that. So there's mountains, there's desert, there's seas, beaches, and oases. A secret dungeon? There's a few dungeons. But there is a dungeon underneath one of the towers. I'm not saying which. But one of the towers of the docks. Because the docks go down into the seas. And underneath that goes like into like, so seabed. And underneath that is a dungeon that belongs to a very powerful goblin wizard. A very powerful goblin wizard. And she was commissioned to make the anchors for Docker's Bay. And part of her payment was a place to stay in silence and to have their dungeon. So, and I'll even put this out there, she has been under there for some time. Studying away. I can do that jump. And I did it right into death. Oh, there's several interesting things, like the Witch Bolt Towers. They're unique of their own. Nation? It's part of the Sword Coast. But most of the land that's around Docker's Bay is owned by either the Zanibar family or the Malkov family. I don't know why I touched that. But they're the two families that kind of run everything in Dockers Bay. The Malkov family essentially set up and founded Dockers Bay. And then the Zanibar family went to work and established the city, so... But they all recognize the Sword Coast. And that's where it ties into Loga. And where the players, if you look at like kind of the storyboard and stuff like that, there was a draft called that asked all adventurers to go to the forefronts of the War of Loga. Or the War on Loga, I guess I should say. Well, the thing is they wheel and deal in kind of everything. But yes, the main export is glass and glassworks. Also fish. Because, Cholt being down below, and also, Dockers Bay actually being friends with the Tritons, low-key. The Tritons get them some of the deep sea fish and stuff like that, so there's things that wizards pay a pretty high premium for, just for components. Learn something new. The thing is they don't really mess with one another. They're far enough away that you could travel there and it's not like you would have anything on your head. Kind of more of the Ixnay place, where essentially the politics don't, it's Athkatla, I think it's called. But that's the city down below that's anti-magic. And obviously Dockers Bay is like, okay, cool, magic, whatever. And it is not unlikely you would run into some strange folk in Dockers Bay where definitely Athkatla would not approve of. And Candlekeep is very interesting because that's primarily like a giant library. My mind's in some other place or something. I don't know what I'm doing. It's probably because of the sleep. I want to check something real fast. I found this new game, Race Run 3D. So awesome. Ah! I almost did it again. Well, you're pretty much, if mages knew about Candlekeep and stuff like that, yes, it would definitely be a place to go. But I would say also another place to go, and it's pretty far off. But the... what is it called? There's essentially the swampland that's on... It's like where Texas would be in the US to reference of this place, but it's a swamp where just mages are galore. It's like Mage City. Because there's gods of the arcane and stuff like that, and they're very much worshipped there. But also, I will say, not just anyone can just go to Candlekeep either. Okay, there we go. There we go! Win, win, win. I don't even... This game's new enough, I doubt I can find where all the artifacts are. And they got rid of my old artifacts? Ooh, that's... You know what? Let's do something else. Watch this. Yes, they have decided to go with a neutral altar. Essentially, you can talk to any deity that you would like from there. Hell mode! And I am rusty as can be. These guys shoot further, faster rate. And you die a lot easier. There's a lot more acid and whatnot. I died on the first guy. Woo! I should actually go back and not shoot it. Nice. Now I can get 2 hits. But yeah, people are pretty tolerant there, and they do understand that there's other deities and stuff like that. But Docker's Bay, the best way to describe it, it's kind of like old Vegas in the US. Where they're still under, like, they still recognize the US, like, as a government structure, but they have a lot of mob and their own kind of rules. Hence why, like, when the draft happened, they could call it into action still. Oh, that was balls. Dun, 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 dun. This route. Dun, 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 dun. Just gonna stick to this wall. Not worry about it. And not gonna risk it. I would say they probably wouldn't turn a kind eye to most things, but everything has its price kind of thing. So everything kind of has its price, but I don't think they would take too kindly to it. Okay, specifically... Well, like I said, it isn't like they're really looking to populate their place. You could probably buy spaces inside of the docks. Like their dock towers and whatnot. But most of their land they don't really give out or want anyone necessarily really around it. Because if they're going to develop it, they're probably just going to develop it themselves or keep it quiet. Okay, I haven't beaten this boss yet. Ugh. It's his ads that are a pain. Woo. not bad, not bad, not bad. Whew. Woo! Live! Woo! Well, the thing is there's someone that's essentially setting that up. The original lore of it is someone has hired everyone and giving them free room and board in the Silver Lining Inn, looking for all the adventures they can get. That so happens to be the Hand of Ma. Or so they think. Well, the thing is you've been personally asked to join them. Or at least the adventurers. The townsfolk are pretty just small town and they keep everything running. I think there's a faster speed on this as well. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, shoot. Wasn't paying attention to that. Game over. Continue. It starts you entirely over? Hell mode is hellish. Okay. No, okay, so how that gets set up. So, Dockers Bay recognizes the Sword Coast. So it's a community inside of the Sword Coast. Then, Loga had something happen with the gates opening and then the three liches essentially trying to take over its powers, restarting a war that's going to essentially destroy the Sword Coast. What's going to happen, or what did happen, is that both Baldur's Gate, Never Ember, let's see, Never Ember, including, what is it, Waterdeep, all the main civilizations, essentially, on the Sword Coast have put a majority of their forces in that direction. But not to mention the Blood Wars going on and Neverwinter, Never Ember has a bunch of stuff going on as well. So essentially, the draft goes through, and it's just like, hey everyone in here, like the draft's up. This is what needs to go down. But since they're already allied with the closest civilization that they're kind of in cahoots with is Logot anyways. And I would say they have their hands in Cholt as well. And also some dealings in the Underdark. But that's on how far do you want to take it. So essentially, like I said, it's kind of like Docker's Bay does do their own thing, but even mobsters went to war, kind of thing. Woo. Oh, I do not like the feel of that. Darn it. It has two connections. One underneath the cloud peaks. So inside of the, like, close to like the bottom base of the cloud peaks. Is part of where it is, and then also the Zanzibar family, in excavating sand and everything, found a tomb that also led to the Underdark. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, nice, Russ! How are you doing? And how was the vacation? And we're just talking lore. Oh, that was dirty. Pooped out a ghost at me. And things are going pretty good, except for I'm like super drained. Oh! Mazel tov. Well, they did find quite a bit in there. But essentially, once the dungeon was cleared out, the Zanzibar family pushed through it, but there's still the entrance, of course. So that's kind of under lock and key. Oh my goodness. This is a brutal, brutal Hellmore. And it was an old temple. In fact, I believe it was called Ashseller Temple. But it was ancient and then got dug up and used. No, it's just controlled in one of the mining sites by the Zanzibar family inside of the desert. Oh man, this resetting is horrible. Bear with me. Bear with me. I'm all sorts of itchy today. But anyways, essentially it's inside of the Zanzibar's mining facility inside of the desert. But the thing is it wouldn't be above the Zanzibars to let adventurers go down to the Underdark. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Sands. They go and get anything sand to essentially smelt into glass to fulfill their orders and whatnot. But the sand is fairly rich in certain types of materials, and that's why they seek certain things out. I'm just struggling. Dun, 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 dun. Oh no! This is faster too. I'll be fine. I don't know why, but the Heavy Metal movie is like stuck in my head right now. That's a weird thing to just pop into my mind. Man, that double bounce. Brutal. Well, what do you mean? Like, how do they do their trade? They'll trade with, like, anyone. Loga has... I mean, it's a metropolis. So they have teleportation circles. They can go meet up with, essentially the Sword Coast. I mean, not Sword Coast, Baldur's Gate or whatever you want. So they can export a good number of things. Loga is a much bigger and much more functioning area than Doctor's Bay. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Look at it, dance mode. Awesome. And I will straight up say, playing this with like 2 players, that's all I've had the experience with, is awesome. It's a great multiplayer game, and I could see this boss being a lot better. Because someone could be like taking out the little dudes, the wee ghosts. So risky, this. That was good. That was really good. Okay, this is where he disappears. And not with that. He's probably gonna get a second run. And hitting that ramp is not good. Yes! You thought I finished it, Paradise? Well, I did! But then, I found out about a hell mode. And it got even harder. Well, how are you doing, Paradise? I hope things are going well for you. And it's good seeing you in here. Everyone give Paradise a good old hello. Have a ripping time. Ah. Okay, screw you, goblin. You're gonna love goblins. Oh no, you've lost your emote? That's a bummer. Everybody needs to stay fresh with the wooden bone. No, it's the emote that I have. It's a dual-purpose bone. It's made of wood, so you would bone someone, but if my dog needs a treat, you can always give a dog a bone. So brutal this is. Ah, darn it. Woo! Going to town on this. Going through the hell mode. Okay, this is just ridiculous. That's a little rougher. That's game over. Woo! It's the bone of bones. So true. Ugh. And if you guys are talking about, there is a custom monster. Believe it or not, here's another little secret. There was someone that wanted an arena back in the day. And I said I'd work with them, and in a campaign, people were talking about how they wanted to train to get better and stuff like that. So I made Bob. It's kind of a fun origin story, so we'll tell that. This monster is pretty fun. But essentially, I was running a Halloween kind of thing. I always run a Halloween game. Every year, I try to do most seasonal games. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, you name it, I try to go for loco on it, right? And tell the story. Whoa, whoops. Okay. Well, I mean, this is good for people to know about Bob. But anyways, we had a group of people and we had this one player that was showing up. And I was running it, and a player just out of nowhere was like, I'm coming. And I was like, okay. I was like, this is what it is, and he's like, what's going on? And I was like, well, I'm just doing a Halloween thing. He shows up with like this honor-bound paladin, like this and that, going to Wreckface. Completely metagaming, right? But if anybody knows me, my monsters aren't necessarily going to attack you straight off of the bat. And there might be some, like, talking back and forth. For instance, a common mimic will talk to you and try to trade for food and stuff. And, which is part of the lore, people. Part of the lore. You gotta learn it. There's actually a video that just came out about mimics that talked about that. About how big they are and, like, how the difference between a rare mimic and a common mimic is. So, the mimic that's going to attack you is the rare mimic, and they're not as common. So, just a little fun fact. Anyways. So he comes in with this paladin, and he's acting like all this, blah, 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 blah. And he didn't do much of anything, just sat in the back, and actually let the other players push things through until I described undead. But here's the funny thing. They go through the cave entrance, and they just deal with a few things here and there. Get in, and then I describe there's a tomb. And in this tomb there's bones and scattered all over, old skeletons and stuff like that. And he immediately says, I run in there, and I like go after it, and I attack. And I was like, so you run into there and you just smashed a bunch of bones. Like, they crash and kringle everywhere and stuff like that. And he's like, but they're undead. And I was like, no, they're just bones. And he's like, well, this and this and this and blah, 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 blah. And he went off and he talked about, like, how, like, it couldn't have worked, blah, blah, blah. If you describe a skeleton, it should be a skeleton. was like, it was a skeleton until you broke it. And he kept on, like, trying to, like, metagame and change the situation until he got fed up and just left. And his character's name was Bob. So, obviously he was just building a trash character, joining in, calling his character Bob, whatever. So he just leaves the party. Like, when I start describing, like, oh, something, like, is going on, the coffin starts glowing green, blah, 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 and he, essentially because he kind of, like, didn't get what he wanted, I guess, he just, like, left everyone. So, he leaves the game, and I described this voice talking to all the players that they should, construct him a monster. And they're like, well, what is in it for us? And he says, I will pay you in full. Like, kind of like, if you don't do this, something worse will happen, blah, 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 blah. So, I tell the players, that glowing coffin, go and put any number of bones, just tell me what type of bone you're putting inside of it, and until it's filled, or until you guys are bored. And they said, we're taking all the skulls that we can find. So there was 8 skulls that they were able to get together, and they put them all in the coffin, and then the coffin shut and started shaking all over and started doing weird stuff. And then, ha 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 ha, you have done well, and now feel my wrath! And then, of course, these things come in, and it was bleached, I want to say, it was a shambling mound. And it was the sentient shambling mound that was talking to him and convincing him. It had skulls and, like, all sorts of stuff. It looked like a bunch of, like, dried up old funky moss. Thank you so much, Paradise. I appreciate that. I really do. You've always been a stallion of a lady. Except for that means, I guess you've always been a mare of the ladies. Or a brood mother of the dragons. Oh shit. I just turned into 3 pixels floating up in the sky. Anyways, so they defeat the shambling mound, and they're like, what's the loot? What do we find? I was like, the coffin stopped moving a bit. And they're like, what? And I was like, you can open it if you want. And they're like, what's going on? And I described that it was shaking stuff. And I told them, the monster inside of that you guys can keep and name it. And so it starts shaking all over and stuff like that. And they said, oh, we're going to name it Bob after the player that just ditched us in the middle of the dungeon. So the monster is Bob. What Bob is Bob has multi-attack. And he has multi-attack for all the heads that are on it. And they can only be bone. And so it's kind of like this ooze bone construct. You can take skulls out to get rid of how many attacks it has. You can put skulls in, including dragon skulls and anything like that, and it will absorb in. But here's the kicker. It takes no damage. So it can get out of control. Like, it will tell you how much you hit for. It will tell, like, you'll see how resilient you are. But it does not die. They named the monster Bob. That they did. It's a bone hydra that you can put, like, so think of it like racks at, like, a gym. You know how you can go put on more weight? That's exactly what Bob is. So you can go train. It's the ultimate training friend. Not really friend, because it will attack you. So, forever on and evermore, we get to beat up Bob. For the rest of eternity. And it lives in the basement under the Silver Lining Inn. Just a little fun fact. Do I have Bob's sheet? Like, you mean the player sheet? No, I think that got deleted a long time ago, but are you talking about the monster? You've never heard of him. Yeah, this is old Loga stuff. I mean, not Loga, Docker Space stuff before I even announced Loga. Loga did not go... I don't know why, but saying the word draft, people thought I was arresting them. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, no, you just got called into a draft. And they're like, my player wouldn't go. And I was like, well, that's fine. You don't have to go. And they're like, my character would just do this. There was a big, like, problem because people got drafted to a war. And it was really odd for me because what is a adventurer? An adventurer is like the tip of the spear. They're the ones going into the dungeons. They're the ones that are fighting for good and evil. But I think players have forgotten this. And not to mention, Loga, because their allies are giving people magical items, they're doing all sorts of stuff. When you hit level 5, you get a cap of water breathing and a ring of swimming. Or if you're a barbarian and you have no ties into the, no ties into the arcane. Oh crap, I'll just go here. Turns you, grants you the Cloak of Manta Ray. I liked the party I joined when they were killing children, and they're great when the party did, and you just joined. Oh, are you talking about the cancer children? That hurt my heart. Like, that, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have put that out there. That's a whole other story. That's when I was doing Magic the Gathering. Regularly, a lot. Yeah, sorry about that. That party really took it off the rails. Yeah, you were. You were definitely trying to save the children. You were the only one, though. You had the mage that was like, wait, they're redirecting spells? Fireball? It burns the kids? Oh yeah, that is true, Russ. That game definitely stands out. And to think about it, it was just in Zill's magic shop. Well, that wasn't good. Zill's magic shop is a great magic shop because it's in the belly of a mimic. And you have to figure out the puzzle to get inside of Zill's magic shop. Now, why Zill's magic shop is so awesome? Because Zill in the back, you pay him money and a choice of first buy / item he really wants inside of his magic dungeon. And what it is you go deeper inside of the mimic and he creates 3 rooms. And depending on how far you go, each room will be different with a different task. So there's weird stuff that happens in Zill's dungeons. So bartering with devils and stuff like that, which happened to that group. Oh, I didn't have any extra hits. Oh, crap. But yeah, that was really a fun boss, too. That the players were dealing with. The fact, and I would recommend this to DMs and stuff like that. But anything that you can kind of change the boss, and it's a little bit different. So in this particular case, every time they attacked the monster, it would redirect its attack to the children. So the monster wasn't taking the damage, the children were. And so there was a problem there because they need to kill this boss, but they're killing the children instead. So, very fun boss, but I would have left cancer children out of it. Just in retrospect. Uh-oh, that's not good. Yeah, skill-based Pokemon. Woo! Yeah, it was more about finding what to do with the children to essentially be able to attack, because there was something that was tying the boss to the children. As soon as you broke the link to the children, you guys could attack the boss freely. That's what it was essentially about. But I always give my players a way to do whatever they want, so someone just fireballed the kids. Killed off the kids, and then they attacked the boss. Which is a way to go about it. The murder hobo way. And then it was even more murder hobo when they wanted to find out what was inside. And they ended up taking those cancer cells and putting them inside of a demon skull. Or a skull that a demon had given them. And I was like, you want to mix devil cancer with demon skulls? And they're like, yeah. And I was fair. I just essentially said, 6, someone just ups and, or 6 and 5, someone ups and dies. 1 and 2, 1, you summon a devil. 2, you summon a demon. I believe it was 3, it explodes. And you get a curse. And then I forget what the other one was. It was something along those lines, and I had one of the other players roll it. And what happened? It blew up, and they almost died, and then they got a really nasty curse, because Magic the Gathering has way worse curses than D&D. So they got... Well, what they ended up getting was take double damage. That was the curse until they had it lifted. Then it turned into the first thing that they ran into. Kind of TPK'd them on the first shot. But that's a whole other thing. Yeah, no, I totally remember that, Russ. I totally remember that. And you were in character. The other ones had, like, lost the touch of their character and they went full murder hobo at that point. But I thought it was a well-designed dungeon, good boss, memorable. And I guess those are the D&D stories. Because at least it was all playing inside of the game. And then we have Bob, and we have all these things. But you always have, like, it's weird in a group. There's always someone that wants to pee on it, and then there's always someone that wants to eat the monster. I don't know what it has to do with those, like... And then there's always, like, a tooth collector in the group. Or, like, someone that's always after, like, weird things like femurs. I swear a lot of D&D people are just closeted serial killers, I swear. The things that I've seen happen in games. And to be fair, the stuff that I've come up with. But that's neither here nor there! Well, okay, let me see if I can catch up. Yes, Russ, the Logos ships, we talked about it in a meeting. I don't think you were part of the meetings back then, but we said we wanted to make the subs sentient and more animalistic. So, the thing is the ships are living ships, every one of them. And in fact, I haven't had a time to edit it. Well, let's... Yeah, but you would have found out very soon, Rev. But I would have rewarded that situation. Like, and in fact, like, it's not like I would always just push players into situations. I'd let them choose. But if you're experimenting like that, I would have encouraged it, and you would have found out more about the overall setting of it. Let's see. Let me get to my documents. Tabletop RPGs. TNet. Here we go. Let me open this up. How much would a live sub be? Well, the thing is they're military owned and they're unique only to Loga. So, how much could you buy a military vehicle? Usually you would be buying a vehicle that's out of date. Here, I need to just clear some things up from this thing. I just need to change something real quick. Let's get the blur brush out. Blur. Blah. Blah, blah. Oh, crank that baby. Okay. No one will ever know. Forgot that I had texture on this. But okay, I'm just trying to get out of anything mechanicalness. We'll just leave those like that. Let's go save as PNG loga subs. Okay, open it up. No, whatever. Okay, TNet DMs. Let's see. Here we go. Loga subs. What do you think? Question. Okay. That's what I'm thinking would work really good for really good for Loga. What's Bob's stats in that? Oh yeah, definitely Russ. And yeah, we can work out all sorts of things, and players still can mod them and stuff like that, so there will be like a secondary market. So essentially, people can eventually own a ship, but it's through other means. But I just posted that in the TNet DMs if you guys want to take a look at what I'm thinking like some of the ships might look like. I think that was a very good idea for kind of a sentient ship. I just like launched myself up and annihilated myself. And just so you know, Rev, Bob takes no damage, but tells how much damage it's taking essentially. So it will account for how much the players are doing. Oh man, that's brutal. And each head, right now, because of the heads that are on it, do 1d6 per head, and it has 8 attacks in a turn. Right now. So there is 0 CR on it. So you can't get XP from it or anything. It takes all damage, and it has attacks equal to the heads that it has. And that is Bob's stat block. I know I built Bob somewhere. But he's essentially a bone ooze. And a like a necro experiment kind of thing gone awry. Made by a necromancer shambling mound. On Halloween. I believe that was Halloween night, too. Yeah, it was built for, essentially the arena users. So has anyone taken a look at the subs? I don't see any comments like, wow, Tech, you're so amazing. You're streaming and making submarines for Loga? What? You truly are Thanos. Yes, I know. So Thanos. Thanos? Thano-ish? There we go. But I actually like these where we sit down and talk lore, stories, and stuff like that. Oh, I did that twice now. Sacrifice myself. Yeah, it has no AC. It's an auto hit. Against it. It's considered prone. So you guys can just mangle that thing as much as you want. We should turn Bob into an acronym. Battle Optimal Bone. I don't know. Or Battle Ooze Bone. Or Biomechanical Ooze Battler. Bob. Oh shoot, these are hard to deal with. It's because, like, it's... Oh, that's hard to deal with. Oh yeah, and the thing is I love talking about building worlds, your DM questions and stuff like that. Like, I've been around a while. Thanks for the comment, man. Here, let's look right here. You make my sails fly. Bone of bones. True. That works too. Actually, we could just have people come up with their own acronyms for Bob. But yeah, essentially what Bob is he's going to have zero impact into the game, other than if we really want to do something like crazy and have Bob break out and just get a ton of heads and he takes no damage and will just start annihilating everyone and turns into an unstoppable ooze. I think that's the movie The Blob, where it goes into the city and starts cracking people in half and then absorbing them. We could do that scenario. Big old bones. Yeah. forgot to eat again. Doing this whole intermittent fasting, what I've been doing, I forget to eat. And so my intermittent fast is even bigger. But, I forget. Oh, I've eaten today. I've eaten twice. I'll be good. Yeah, that's not horrible. Weird. But okay, resume. Did that? It didn't sound too good. It's look, I lost viewers when I was playing guitar. I see how it is. But I was learning some folk punk today. I love punk music. Oh, I thought I was going to lose it. Sing a bard song. I don't know how to do that. How to do that bard song. We'll see. Trying to think what I would put onto that. Once there was a little Noel. He was only about 5 years old. But when he came to Bagaland, that's when he found his hand. Seems like there needs to be a and that's how that Noel spent his time every day and night. The little old lady just outside had a fright. If it weren't for that knoll, going out on a midnight stroll. His fur was matted, and you could not pull. But he was just the tender age of a maturing little animal. Okay. Put all these all over. And we'll get back to the game. Oh no, I'm gonna die. So was that bardish enough for you? I don't know what we should name that song. Truly moving. Well, thank you so much. I just lost my ferry! Over that? Okay, let's see how it is. See that? They don't even let you get it. That's bogus. But I'm getting better at this boss. He has a different pattern there, I've noticed. Keep your pattern straight, Mr. Evil Man. I know he has a name. Forget what it is. Whoa, he can go through the elements! Woo! Almost lost that. Makes sense though, this ghost is totally going after it. Give me a scrying orb. I kind of want a crystal ball. That would be cool to have a crystal ball. I see into your future. Away. And now I'm just annihilating myself right there. Hell mode is hard. Okay? Hell mode. Helmo. That'd be a good name for a vicious looking dog. Helmo. It's Clifford's cousin, Helmo. Who is your guys' favorite Sesame Street character? Mine was Oscar the Grouch. I like Oscar the Grouch and Cookie Monster. Oh, apparently that question wasn't good enough. Oh, I'm feeling the sleep. That chased me. No! I think I'm just getting sloppier. Well, at least I got the diamond, right? So do we have any other DMing stories? Thanks, man. I appreciate it. The more love and everything we get to this stream, the more I can do stuff. Okay. I don't know. Would it be weird if Tina had not a paywall, but like essentially a subscription service on it that had no effect on the core game, but just for extras? Because the thing is people are asking for a lot of, like, custom stuff, and a lot of stuff pertaining that would make DMs work harder and whatnot. And I think that's reasonable if you're asking for more time and more specific things that would take DMs and me a lot more work to put in. I don't think that's wrong to say, like, well, if you want this, 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 and this in the game, like, you get it. AKA, like, whatever it may be. So I don't know what you would call that. It's not a paywall, but it's a subscription. A subscription perk? I think that's what it would be called, because I wouldn't have it affect the game in any way, like no one would be stronger or anything like that. They would just be able to do more things. But who knows? That's just an idea I was working on, because I'm poor. I'm so poor. I need poor. And also, what would be cool is if I can actually start commissioning work and stuff like that. Like VIP? Yeah. Like VIP. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. So maybe it is something that we could implement. I don't want it to affect anyone, though. I still want people to come in and they can still interact and everything like that however they want. Well, not however they want, obviously, under the guidelines provided. Here's a question to you guys, since I have some DMs in here. Does it look like I've put a lot of work into the server and stuff like that, with where it is and everything? Or does it look like someone was just like, with a crackpot idea, just throwing it all together? I think it looks somewhat legit, but I know it's loose. Yeah. Well, and I was thinking of something like they can have like certain perks, like they can have like a choice to change class or something like that on their main character. I'm not saying that's it, but something along those lines, like once per month. They can, like, change it, or whatever it may be. That way they can, do different things, or maybe... Like, people were asking about, like, specific classes, like if we could bring them in and stuff like that, or... Turtles and things of that nature. Which are completely balanced. Awesome! Good. Because I actually feel that it's growing in a more proper direction than I've seen, like, unlike other servers that I've been in where it kind of like stagnates and stuff. Like, I do feel a growth inside of it, and I just hope other people can see it too. So that's really awesome. Yeah. You need to take my dog out real fast, guys. I'll be right back. Oh my. let's get back into it. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, take care, Paradise. I always appreciate when you show up, and have a good night. And are you saying, like, the PCs create conflicts amongst themselves inside of your game? So it feels like your regulars are, like, getting picked on kind of thing? Like murder hobo kind of thing? I think I understand what you're saying. Man, that's a bugger of a ghost. Frostnail! Ooh, that was death. It is a very spooky skeletons. It is very true. But welcome in. It's like I'm in Groundhog's Day. Yeah, just dying all the time. How long is my hair gonna be? As long as it needs to be. I don't know. I don't know if I want to dread it or I want to do some type of weird thing. I know I was saving up to get my hair like Mad Mardigan in Willow. I want to do his hairdo. I want to look like Mad Mardigan. I look like Jesus. I look like Jesus. Well, that's a good thing. He's a handsome fellow. So I'll take that as a compliment if I can get it. Darn it. A fairy! Let's go. I want to play Twisted Metal Black. Oh, it just came to mind. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I have just really dry skin right now, or I'm getting itchy from, like, allergies or something. Weird. There's a fairy. I ditched it. But anyways, Frostnail, what have you been up to? Have you been streaming? But to tell you the truth, I haven't been able to log necessarily into my Twitch because of the two-way verification. So I don't see like who I follow regularly. And I can't say hello right now. Oh, awesome! On stream? Stream is lagging. What? Oh yeah, I've had shiitake internet lately. It should settle itself out. It looks like it's stable, but I did lose a lot of frames. Okay, so you're just playing it from a app like BlueStacks or something? Which is cool. There's a lot of good app games. Like Race Runner that I was talking about. I've been obsessed with that game. Same with Teeny Dice Dungeon. There used to be Blood Brothers 2, and they got rid of it, and that game was fan-frickin-tastic. Woo! Frickin' fairies. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, and guess what, guys? There's a good possibility I'm going to be featured playing guitar on a YouTube channel. It's called Scar My Guitar. So we'll have to give it the love. Write comments and stuff. But they're setting up a little, like, jam thing. I don't know if I should be like Crazy Technotron or try to be professional. I think I'm going to be Crazy Technotron. Do all sorts of shenanigans. Maybe wear, like, my green screen suit. That was kind of cool. I still bounced. Not gonna lie. Guys, I need more friends to play this with. I think that's my problem. I'm lacking friends. Not friends online. You guys are great. But I'm talking about, like, the real life ones. Suppose I could get my nephews to play. Maybe I could get up to Aurum. Huh. Maybe. It's a ways away. Du, 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 du. Du, 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 du. Jeez, I'm not having luck today. I think I'm winding down, people. Can feel the lag setting in. No sleep makes tech go something something. I'm really lagging. Lagging out. Love that jump. It's very I want to be the guy jump. Like that. Like that a lot. Hey, you guys, see that? I didn't go into the grinder. I watched this, like, when I couldn't sleep, I watched this whole thing on, women's prisons in the US. And to tell you the truth, their prisons don't look half as bad as the guys. Holy freaking crap. I think the guys just make it worse on themselves because they're just so much more violent. But there were some creepy women in there. Not gonna lie. It was a two-part documentary, though. Yeah, I can tell I'm getting hungry because I just had a hankering for avocado and toast. That sounds good right now. And I've been doing some new stuff with steak. this ghost is out to get me. But it was creepy though, some of the inmates and stuff like that. They would like talk about their crimes with a grin on their face and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I almost killed this person, like blah blah blah, and a violent assault. We were just kids. It was just like, whoa. Intense. But like it's kinda like one of those things, it's like you can't look away, and it's so intriguing listening to the stories. I'm getting better. Getting better. I'm seeing that I understand that boss a little bit better now, too. I have, like, more defensive actions against him. And you can watch Over the Top now with ads on YouTube. Great movie. Great flick. Am I continuing to lose frames? No. Wow, he's a lot more fluid. Son of a gun. I wasn't paying attention. That was score. Sweet! Sweet, 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 sweet. Jeez, I'm really like doing this jump over and over again. Why did I time it like that? I'm a dummy. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 boom. So 2-2 seems to be my wall. This goat. How do I go about that? Okay, I think this is my last go, and then I need to get some slumberage on. Okay, go through that without a problem. I like the colors in this game too. They use like one of my more favorite palettes. Green, purple, oranges, and then blues. I think it looks good. So everyone just chilling out, relaxing, all cool. Oh, take care, Frostsnail. I hope you have a good one. I'm thinking about hitting the hay here myself. Did you say that very sleepy? What the? Here, I'll leave you guys with one other fun fact about tech. I'm a fish keeper. Yes, I die. I like keeping fish. Okay, yes, and... Oh! But yeah, I have 2 new goldfish. I'll post them on my Twitter and stuff. Oh... Wait. But guys, laser dragons, we must fly. I barely even want to keep up with my age right now. But I hope all is well. You sleep. Have a good time. And we must fly.